Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Ah, so this is your subject, advanced manufacturing technology. This is basically a simple subject, easy subject, but there are certain topics from electronics field also, mainly on the second module. Okay. this Prashna. Just a minute. Okay. So, in our first module, we will be dealing with mainly the types of traditional machining and non-traditional machining, then powder metallurgy, uh, then, regarding mixing, sintering, etc., etc. Then we will start with the program logic controllers, the basic definition and some simple problems regarding that, and also uh, just introduction to CNC programming. So these are in first module. Later on, we will move to manufacturing side. So that will be very easy. The only thing is certain topics like PLC and CNC programming will be a little bit difficult. If you skip that also, it is not a big deal. Okay. So basically, this subject is a simple one. You can score good marks. Okay. And I think you have gone through the timetable. It may be changing or in whatever may be. So as of now, you are having a assignment period. So in that time, some questions will be uploaded. You have to answer it and upload the same. Okay. Anyway, today you are having one assignment test for my subject. The questions will be given. The answer you should not. It is not required to upload today itself, but according to your submission, you will be given the attendance. Okay. Now I think we can start. Okay. So the manufacturing process. The manufacturing process, this can be mainly classified into two. That is primary and secondary. Primary manufacturing process and secondary. So what is a primary manufacturing process and what is a secondary manufacturing process? Okay, so by the name itself, we will get a clear idea. That is, primary means the first one, secondary is the second one, right? So, what all things comes under primary manufacturing process? So, just a minute. So the primary manufacturing process is, that is the primary step or the first initial stage of manufacturing. Any initial stage of manufacturing, initial stage of manufacturing. Okay, initial, where a basic shape, a basic shape, a basic shape and size, shape and size is created as per the designer's requirement. Whenever the designer gives a requirement, according to the designer's requirement, just a basic size and shape is created. It should not have the accurate tolerance or surface accuracy like that, but just a basic size and shape. So this is the initial stage of manufacturing. And the main examples are casting, forming, powder metallurgy, etc., etc. So these processes, casting, forming, powder metallurgy, etc. Here you can see a basic shape, shape and size is created, but not the final or a surface finish. Suppose we want a block or a cube, particular shape, say a cube of a required dimension. So we can make it by first of all by casting. By casting we can create a cube, but not to the actual dimension, just a shape. We'll get the shape of a cube as you have given in the lab. What we have done is in our lab in the last semester you have done shaping and all, right? So before that you are given a cube, not an exact cube, but just a shape of a cube by casting. So after casting it has came over there. So here in the primary process, so what the primary manufacturing process deals with is they are the initial stage, or where a basic shape and size is created. For example, casting, forming, powder metallurgy, etc. comes under the primary manufacturing process. So what is the secondary process? So secondary process, that is the final stage, where the final shape and size, and shape, or shape and size is created with the tight dimensions, with tighter control on the dimensions, surface characteristics, etc. Like surface finish, dimensions, etc., etc., etc. It will be having a tighter control over that. So this is the final product, at the final stage of a manufacturing process. So basically any manufacturing process can be classified into two. That is, first one is primary and second, then next is the secondary. The primary manufacturing processes are the processes which are created or done to get the basic shape or size, and the secondary processes are the processes where the final shape and the size are created. And we can see the material removal process, the manufacturing mainly done by the material removal process, that is by removing the materials. We have seen in the lab by using the material that thereby we are creating a particular required shapes. So that is a material removal process. So this material removal process can be done in two ways. Material removal. Material removal process. The material removal process, that is a final product created by removing the material, so that you will be getting the required shape and size. And that particular process is material removal process, and the material removal process can be classified into two, that is conventional machining processes, and the other one is non-conventional or non-traditional. Non-traditional or non-conventional. This is conventional or traditional. So what is a conventional machining process and what is a non-conventional or non-traditional process? We will see one by one. So first one, conventional or traditional. Conventional machining process or traditional. Machining process. Conventional or traditional. By the name itself, എന്താണ് സാധാരണ രീതിയിൽ അല്ലെ ട്രഡീഷണൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള മെഷീനിങ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്തായിരിക്കും? That is, you are having a material, say a workpiece like this, and you are having a tool, different types of tools, say rotating tool like this, and using this tool you are just cutting the material either by rotating. In the case of a turning and all, you can see in the lathe the material or the workpiece will be rotated, and when the tool is approaching that, it will be cutting. So the workpiece is rotated. As a result, you will get a final product like this. Or in the case of a shaper, you will get a in the same material. If the shaper you are using, then you will get a flat surface or some cube like this. You can produce. Or using the drilling bit, you can create holes, symmetric holes, any number of holes. So this is the conventional method. So here what we do is, there is a direct contact of the tool, direct contact of the tool. That is, tool is directly contacting the workpiece, thereby cutting the material from the workpiece. So there is a direct contact of the tool with the workpiece, thereby removing the material, excess material, thereby producing the final product of the required shape and dimension. So this is the conventional machining. So this conventional machining process we have done in the last lab, manufacturing technology lab 1, you have seen whether in the case of turning, milling, grinding, cutting, etc., etc., everything is based on the conventional practice. That is a traditional machining you have done there. Now, we will see what is a unconventional, non-conventional or non-traditional machining process. Non-traditional or non-conventional. So what is a non-conventional machining process or non-traditional machining process? So by the name itself, we can say here mainly using the modern or advanced technologies for the machining process where there is no direct contact. No direct contact of the tool. Most modern advanced technologies. Modern advanced technologies. So utilizing the functionalities of the modern advanced technologies to be able to remove the the material. And the main thing is or the main good feature is that you can even make complex structures or machine complex profiles. Suppose if you have to create an object, or you have given a cube like this, and you have to get a particular profile like this, suppose. A difficult profile or inner side, a complex profile. By the traditional methods or by conventional methods, it will be very difficult to machine complex structures, or even thin structures cannot be produced effectively. But in the case of non-traditional operations or non-traditional or non-conventional machining, by utilizing the most modern advanced technologies, it will be possible to machine complex structures without direct contact of the tool. So thereby you can even reduce the tool wear and also increases the surface finish, and the material, even the material removal rate can also. What is the material removal rate? Material removal rate, we always use the term MRR, material removal rate. Material removal rate. That is a rate at which the material is removed. That is within 3 seconds, say within 3 seconds how much material is removed, or within 1 second how much volume of material is removed. That is the speed at which the material is removed. Or if the MRR is high, that means the machining process is faster. That is a material removal is, the process of material removal is a little bit faster. So with enhanced material removal rate and the surface finish or the close with machining with close dimensional accuracy, tolerances, this all can be possible with non-traditional operations. So what all are the what are the types of or the examples of what do you say, the non-traditional operations. We can see many operations like abrasive jet machining, abrasive jet machining. We'll later discuss each one by one. First of all, we just now, as of now, you can just see the names. First one is abrasive jet machining, then ultrasonic machining, water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining, electro discharge machining, EDM, electro discharge machining, EDM. These are some of the examples of non-traditional machining where we are not directly contacting the workpiece. Tool is not having the directly contact, but using certain mechanisms or some advanced technologies, we are removing the materials in the atomic level or nano levels. We are removing the material. So here mainly the tools used may be, that is tools used may be laser beams, electric beams, electric arc, etc., 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 infrared beam, etc. Okay, so here what we are using is we are not just using a cutting tool like the case of conventional. We are using certain other tools like laser beams, that is using the laser. By using laser we can cut the material. How? By using the laser, the heat produced by the laser, excess tremendous amount of heat energy produced by focusing the laser beam into a particular surface. We can increase the temperature at that portion, and using the temperature you can cut the material. So by that technology, like that, using electric beams, electric arcs, infrared beams, etc., 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 we can create the what do you say, or cut the materials. These are just the examples. There are many others also. So in the AGM, that is what is it, abrasive jet machining. We are using abrasive particles, and the jet of fluid will be there. And using this, the abrasive particles will be thrown to the surface, and using that, it is guided in the particular fashion. And in that, by using the proper guiding of this abrasive particles, particular surface or the complex features can be cut or made, or the material is removed. In ultrasonic machining, using the ultrasonic frequencies of vibration, and using this vibration, the particles are vibrated, and using the frequency, the material removal is done. Water jet machining, the name itself, from the name itself we will get an idea. That is using the water jet. The water, it is a thin film of water is made, or the water jet, and it is used to cut the material. It is possible to cut the material. And in abrasive water jet machining, there is a mixture of abrasive particles, or hard fine particles, which is termed as the abrasives, mixed with the water jet, and these are used to machine in the case of abrasive water jet machining and electro discharge machining. Electro discharge machining is a process where there is an electric arc or electric discharge is made between the tool. The tool is made a one of the cathode or anode like that, and an electrode. The workpiece is made another electrode, and by passing the current and all, the electron discharge will be done, and using the electron discharge we can remove the material from there. And likewise many other processes are there, and using these technologies we are removing the process. So basically we have seen the manufacturing. Manufacturing is classified into two, that is primary process and secondary process. So in the primary process we are just creating a basic shape and size according to the designer's requirement. And the main example was the casting, turning, etc. What all things we have done in the not done than that. We have seen the basic shape, that is the casting, forging, etc., extrusion, etc. By that we are just getting a required shape and size, not the final one. The final stage is done by the secondary process. Now then we have seen the manufacturing. Manufacturing can be done through various methods by adding material. Like in the case of casting, we are just pouring the material and to the cavity, and after cooling we are getting the final product. Or we can machine it. Machine it means we can create a shape by removing the material from the pre-existing shape. So in that is a machining process can be done in two ways, or the machining or the material removal can be done in two ways. That is, first one is the conventional practices or the conventional methods of machining, that is conventional machining process, where a tool is having the direct contact with the workpiece. That is we have already done in the lab, mainly turning, slotting, shaping, etc. Then we move to non-conventional machining process or non-traditional machining process, where there is no direct contact of the workpiece, the tool with the workpiece. And we have seen the examples, mainly the abrasive jet machining, ultrasonic machining, water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining, EDM, etc. And the tools used here, the tools used are not the cutting tools, but the laser beams, electric discharge, electric arc, infrared beams, etc. will be used for the used as the tools. Now we will see a comparison for the traditional and conventional. Conventional versus non-traditional. Conventional versus non-traditional machining. So we'll compare it, both the process. We know the basic difference. What is the basic difference? The basic difference is there is no physical contact. No physical contact. No physical contact. No physical contact of the tool in the case of conventional, and non-conventional. And there is a physical contact with the conventional or the traditional process. So in the case of conventional process, there is a physical contact, and for non-traditional or non-conventional, there is no physical contact. There is a basic difference. Then the non-conventional or the non-traditional machining process or the tools, these tools are more accurate or precise than the conventional. So we will get a good surface finish or good accurate value, with close tolerance. We will get the cross dimensional accuracy. Next is regarding the noise pollution and all. We can see in our lab there will be a lot of noise, right? So by conventional practice there will be huge noise pollution, but in case of non-conventional or non-traditional process, it will be quite silent. So there is no noise pollution. In the case of non-conventional, but in the conventional process there will be noise. Then the tool life, regarding the tool life, we have already mentioned that there is no physical contact of the tool in the case of non-conventional. So if there is no physical contact, means there will be less wear and tear, so the tool life will be more. So the tool life will be more for non-conventional or non-traditional process than the conventional. In the case of conventional, the tool life will be less compared to non-conventional. Then next, we know we are using the latest technologies or modern advanced technologies for the the non-conventional or non-traditional operations. We are using latest technologies or advanced technologies we are using. So usually it will be very expensive. The tools will be very expensive. The tools used will be very expensive than the conventional. So this is already a drawback. That is, it will be quite expensive. The tools used will be expensive. Now, we have seen this can be used. That is the non-conventional or the non-traditional machining can be used to machine many complex structures. Complex structures can be produced or with high material removal rate, and also latest technologies or advanced technologies are using. So in order to use these advanced technologies or the complex profiles to be created, we need a good skillful operation. So the skill of the labor is important. Skills required, or the knowledge, good knowledge of the utilization of the various operations. There are various operations in this non-conventional machining. Not in the case of like the case of just turning or shaping. There is only some standard procedures available. But for non-conventional machining process, there should be some skill or the knowledge, particular knowledge, and in order to apply the particular, the latest technologies. There are many operations to be conducted. Now, regarding the spare parts. Spare parts, due to this non-traditional, in the case of conventional, like the case of a lathe or shaper, miller or like that, these are only simple procedures or the simple parts, and the spare parts of the machines or the tools will be easily available. Conventional, easily available. But in the case of non-conventional or non-traditional, it is not easily available. And it is quite costly also. But even then, it will have a good surface finish or the good tolerance level. You'll be able to keep the good tolerance level. But the main thing is the spare parts are not easily available. So these are the main comparison, how we can compare both the conventional and non-traditional operations. So first one, the basic difference is there is no physical contact in the case of the non-traditional, whereas there is a physical contact in the case of conventional practice. Secondly, regarding the accuracy and precision, the non-conventional tools or using the modern technologies or advanced technologies, we will be able to create or machine the materials with more accuracy and precision. And later, the third, we'll see there is less noise pollution or even no noise pollution in the case of non-traditional operations, while in the case of conventional practices like that we have done in the lab, there will be a huge noise pollution. The fourth point is regarding the tool life. Since that in case of conventional practice, there is a direct contact, there will be much higher tool wear, and also the tool life will be reduced. But in the case of non-traditional operations or the non-conventional operations, there is no direct physical contact. So as a result, there will be the tool life will be also increased or enhanced. Then fifth point is the tools used in non-conventional machining. They are, or non-traditional operation are huge or expensive, very much expensive, because they are using the latest technologies or advanced technologies. Then we have seen as a result of this technology can advance, the huge skill is required. Huge skill is required to operate the various procedures in non-conventional machining. And in case of conventional, there is comparatively less skill required. And finally, regarding the spare parts, it is easily available for in the case of conventional, and in the case of non-conventional machining, it is not easily available. So these are all about the comparison. So next we have to go to micro machining and nano machining, that will be discussed in the next class. So now we'll see the attendance.